Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator tables video with me, John, on this 17th of May. Here you can see we have our live currency strength indicator tables in front of us, and today they are showing us that the US dollar is back on the tables. This is something that we discussed in yesterday's video, that we wanted to see the US dollar return back to the tables in order to look for some opportunities, and this has provided us with potential opportunities across a couple of different forex pairs today. One of those is the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, which I really like the opportunity of seeing come lower, so we're going to talk about that one first. And you can see what the reason why we're talking about that is because the dollar is S2 on our trend traders, S1 on our day traders, and then we've got the Australian dollar as W3 on the trend traders, W2 on the day traders table there. So Aussie US dollar potential for some downside to come with this confirmed signal. We talked about CAD yen previously. I'm also going to go over that because I had a nice trade on that one, so I'm going to show you how I use the tables to profit on that trade, and then we can also talk about some other pairs of interest. So you can see that the dollar yen is featured as the top of our day traders table. My only worry with dollar yen is that we're coming into some key areas of resistance, so I'm not featuring that one as the main focus pair today because we're coming into a resistance point. But let's go take a look at Aussie US dollar. You can see I've got it open here on the right hand side. I'm just going to expand this out a little bit, and you can see that price has been trading within this tiny sort of range here, or this sort of short-term range, and you can see that's between the 0.68 handle and the 0.6575 lows. Now price has kind of gone through the middle of the range, and we're trading back below the 200 daily moving average here, and that suggests to me that there's a potential for price to come down to the lows of the range, and that's why I'm really interested in this potential pair moving lower, because there's an opportunity for price to trade from the high side of the range to the low side of the range. So I'm looking for trades and opportunities down to this point. Now if I go into a 4-hour time frame, I was actually looking this morning to see if I could potentially get short here. However, I'm put off slightly by the fact that we're back at previous 4-hour lows. Okay, so usually when price comes into a previous low, we can often see it reject that low, and if I'm looking to get short, that wouldn't be the most optimized area for me to do so. Okay, and the reason for that is because we're at a low point. Now the way I'd like to look at this is two options. I think we've got the opportunity for price to potentially trade higher back towards the 0.67 handle. That would be a good area to look for our short opportunity. If I just bring this down here, for instance, and just highlight that zone to you, you've got the 0.67 highs there. And if price was to return back to that point, that could be an area where sellers want to get involved in the market again. Alternatively, we can go even lower. Now I was looking at this hourly time frame for an interesting area to look for a short, and the area that I'm looking at the moment is around about the 0.6670 or 0.6668, and the reason why I'm looking around that area is because, again, price has found some type of resistance here most recently. So we're coming into those lows, we've taken out the lows, which is a good sign of potential seller momentum, but if price was to come all the way back into this level here, that could be a catalyst to see sellers jump back into the market, and that we could look for a short opportunity there. So what I've done is I've set alerts around that point, and I'm looking to see if price can trade back to it for a potential downside short selling opportunity there on Aussie US dollar, as long as it remains on our day traders table here, because that's where the momentum is in the market at the moment. Now we talked about dollar yen as well, so let's head over to dollar yen, and I am interested in potential dollar yen longs. However, we are coming into an area of resistance. If I just go up into our daily time frame here, we can see that we're approaching the 137.75 handle, which is where I think price is going to head towards. But the one thing that's putting me off at the moment is we are trading around about the daily 200 moving average, and we are trading towards this resistance zone. The last time price came into this zone, we did find some resistance, so I'm a little bit cautious with a dollar yen long at the moment just off of that basis. However, if price does get through the 137.75 handle and pulls back, there could be an opportunity for a break and retest with the option to trade up to the next level of resistance, which could be this 142 handle. Now that 142 handle has a nice high with a confluence, and that was around about the 21st of November 2022. So those highs in there would be interesting to me as targets for buying opportunities if we were to trade through 137.75. Now, if I go into the 4-hour time frame, like I said, my only concern is that we're at the level of resistance. We're at the daily 200 moving average. That can be used as resistance as well. So my only concern is getting long here. And again, like I said, with Aussie US dollar, I want to be long. If I want to be long in this market, the reversal of the Aussie US dollar, I want to be long from lows. With the Aussie US dollar, we want to be short from highs. So I want to be looking to see if price can pull back down into key areas like this 135.50 or even just slightly higher, around about the 135.75 where all these lows have been. The reason being is because I know buyers have been there before. You know, we can see that physically on our charts that buyers have stepped in at that point. So I want to know that if price comes back to that point, do we start seeing buying again in and around that area? So once again, I'd set some alerts around this point and then look for some potential opportunities in and around there. But I feel for today, Aussie US dollar is definitely the one to watch with some potential downside. So that was my main focus forex pair for today. Now, we have talked about CAD yen in the past as well. Most recently, we talked about the potential to get long as price was above the 100.75 handle. Now, what I'm going to do is just bring over the trade that I took on that pair. So I've just separated my trade in that terminal there just so I can show you what I took yesterday. Basically, price came back to the 100.75 handle. If I go down into the hourly time frame, what we talked about was looking to get long in and around that area. And in particular, I said you could watch the 4-hour high as an opportunity, as well as a bit of a pullback a little bit lower, and that's exactly what I did. I took a long off the break of the 4-hour high, and I also took a long when price pulled back on a lower time frame, looking for that lower high opportunity. Now, we took a long with a 76 pip target on the one, and on the other we had another move up of 50, or that's about 60 pips there. So all in all, if we're looking at it, if I round this one down to around about 70 pips, adding that 60 pips, it's around about 130 to 135 pips that I managed to trade out of CAD yen yesterday using the tables as our confluence. So we had our key signal there yesterday with CAD yen being on the tables. What we then did was we came to the chart on CAD yen, and we identified the fact that we came into the support at the 100.75, and I wanted to be long up to the next level of resistance there. So that's how you can use the tables to identify a trade as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll look forward to speaking to you in the next one.